Hi, I'm Jackie Topa. The project I'm going to be showing you is this little gift card purse. Okay, to start with, you're going to need a 6x8 piece of designer series paper and a 3 1/4 by 2 inch mat, 3 1/2 by 2 inch flap. And to start with, you're going to score this at 3/4 of an inch and then round the corners. You can use whatever kind of corner rounder you want. Oops, I didn't get that very nice. I'll just trim that up later. And if you're using the new, I think it's called what, Curvy Corner Trio Punch. One tip that I just wanted to share about this punch is that you can't just turn it, you have to flip it, because these circles are not the same, or part circles, and your shape won't line up. So that way it's even on both sides. So once your corners are rounded, just set those aside, and we're going to get out our paper trimmer. And you want both the scoring blade and the cutting blade on for this. So you're going to score this at 1/4 of an inch. Sorry, yes, 1/4 of an inch, just scored, and then you're going to cut it at 1/2 inch. This is going to be your handle, because you want it scored down the center, and it's hard to do when you have a thin strip, so that's why I do that first. Then while your scoring blade's in, you're going to score this at 2 inches and 5 1/2. This is going to make your tube. And then you'll turn your paper and score it at 2 3/8. Right about there. And 3 5/8. Alright, and then you can get rid of your trimmer there. So, and I usually like to just kind of fold that up lightly, just so it's easier to do later. And you're going to make a tube. You can use any kind of adhesive to close this, because there's really no pressure on this seam. I'm going to use my Tombow because I like that for pretty well everything. Okay. Oops. And then you're going to take a half or a circle punch. The size doesn't really matter. You want to just slide that in there, and you're going to just punch a portion with a circle, and that's going to be to show your gift card after. Okay, so take on that other seam now, and take your bone folder. Just kind of tighten that seam up a little bit. And then I'm going to glue my flap on. This really is a quick, easy project. So it's kind of nice to get rid of your, to use up those retired sheets of DSP. And we'll glue that in there. Oops, I should have probably put it on my other thing so my glue doesn't go through. Okay, and I've got a brad all ready to go. I just punched a couple of flowers. This is from the branch, I forget what it's called, but whatever you want for your brad. So I'm going to mark my brad first where I want it, and I want it just down a little pinch from where my flap is going to be. And because I don't want that hole to go right through, I'm going to take my adhesive remover and put it inside, and my piercing tool, and just poke a little hole for my brad. So that's going to hold your flap shut. We'll open those prongs on the inside. Oops. There. And that will hold. Now to make the handle that's already scored down the center. And I am going to take my banner punch. And I'm going to just make a point at the ends of my handle here. Oops, make sure that's in the center. Hard to do when I'm not looking straight down at it. And then you want a little bit of adhesive. You could use snail for this too, just in the center. You don't want it down the whole length. and then you're going to fold that in half. Now this one I purposely did a little off center just to show you. If you're not right on, that's going to be like, leave that for the inside, just so it doesn't show. And take your bone folder and just curl your handle a little bit. And then you can either take your Tombow or some glue dots, whatever kind of adhesive you want. Put that on and just attach your handle. Just going to hold that for a couple seconds and then you're all finished. It's pretty quick and easy. I wanted to share a couple of tips with you. With my original purse, I did 2 handles on it, and the ones after that I only did 1, because then I could get it out of a 6 by 8 inch piece of designer series paper. And the reason I do that is because when you cut your 6 by 8 inch, you're going to have 4 inches by 6 left over. So this 4-inch piece I cut at 5 1/4, which is the perfect size for the background of a card, and then you've got a little strip left. So with the little strip you can make a nice little set if you were doing a class. So you've got your purse, and then you've got, from that little strip I used for a tag, and then the background of card. So that would make a nice little class if you, and only using a half a sheet of DSP. And another thing that I did is, rather than, you can get your mat and your flap out of an 8.5, the 8.5 length, but rather than doing that I went 11 inch by 2 inches, because then I could cut my my flap and my mat, and then this piece was left over, and that was what I used for the tag. And because it's 2 inches wide, it fits in our tag topper punches that Stampin' Up! Sells, and so that was a quick, easy tag. So thank you for joining me. You can find the written instructions for this project on my blog.